Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road.
the world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid.
But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee-da-dee. A fwit-dee-dee-dee-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Adventures waiting further down the road.
Let's go!
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Gothic Horror Gaming here on Nat 21 Adventures. I'm your host, the Gloom Master, and this is an evening of horror, a continuation of our story that many of you helped us to write a few weeks ago, set in Alexandria, Virginia, in the year of 1764. But a couple of quick things, business to take care of before we launch back into the game. The first of which is this is a horror game. There are descriptions of violence, body horror, in fact, we've discovered, things of common phobias. So if that is not your cup of tea, we completely understand, but be aware that that is what we are going to be discussing here in a fantasy setting tonight during our show. Also, would like to take a quick moment to thank our sponsors. We have Ren Adventures, renadventures.com, doing tours mainly in Europe at the moment, where Renaissance performers who are fluent in the language of wherever you are visiting, very often Italy, will take you around and show you various sites. But we're also doing a castle tour, July 7th through 14th. I don't know if it's sold out yet. It was close if it wasn't already. But it's go to Scotland and England, go to castles and tour them during the day, and then get to play in them at night. So a wonderful thing. Also, we have 3D to You, our friends who do dice towers, dice boxes, journals, that sort of thing. Check them out at 3d2u.org. As you saw in the scroll, it's a little past time, but I still like to plug it because it's amazing stuff. Madame Unsa's Yuletide Monsters. If you want to get a jump for next year, be sure to check her out with all of her lovely Krampus-themed drinkware and tarot cards, that sort of thing. So YuletideMonsters.com is that one. Now, as far as we are concerned, we are set in the Chill universe, for those who are unfamiliar. In the Chill universe, the supernatural is real. It is usually very deadly, and it is almost always evil. However, the general public does not know it exists, nor does do the supernatural entities try to make themselves more known. Is all kind of in the background, like a shadowy layer behind the normal world. And we are setting our adventure in the year of 1764 in Alexandria, Virginia. The rule system that we are using is a rule system from a game called Over the Edge, and it is very simple. Your character has 3 traits, a primary trait and 2 side traits. And whenever you want to perform an action that would require a die roll, you determine which of your traits it falls under, and that determines how many dice you use. So if you have a primary trait of firefighter and then 2 side traits of amateur gymnast and let's say bookworm, those are your 3 traits. If you want to do something under your primary trait, firefighter, for instance, you want to drive a fire truck down the street in rush hour traffic and get from point A to point B. You would roll 4 6-sided die, 4d6, add them together, attempt to hit a target number. If something falls under your side traits, for instance, you are trying to squeeze through a narrow opening in a cave, you could say, I'm an amateur gymnast, so I'm very flexible. So then you would roll 3d6, as that is one of your side traits. If you attempt to do something that falls under none of your traits, for instance, in the same hypothetical character, you are attempting to rewire a circuit board. You have no experience with that. None of your traits relate to that. So you would roll 2d6 and attempt to hit a target number. That being said, all of you at home watching on Twitch can help. You can spend your Twitch points, and that will convert into helps that you can give to our players or to me as the game master to help our dice rolls. Every help that someone spends, declare before they roll, and then you spend a help. They get to roll an extra d6 and then take the highest for whatever they would normally be allowed. For instance, our firefighter is attempting to scale a precarious ladder. normally they would roll 4d6. They decide to use one of their helps. They will roll 5d6 and choose the 4 highest values on those dice to add together to hit their target number. So there we go. That is simply the rules. It is that simple. Now that we've gone over all of that, let us bring our players back in and see what they recall and how they are feeling about what has happened recently. Let us start with Jefferson Franklin Clay. Jefferson.
Oh, hello. I did not see you there.
Yes. Our Quaker minister.
Yes, indeed.
How are you feeling after events of late?
Well, I am a little. I'm feeling vexed, based on what I saw from that poor horse, who shall be remembered. I do not want to say avenged because we in the Quake community, we do not believe in revenge. I mean, revenge might believe in us, but we do not believe in it. Now, also seeing some signs that seem to point, in my professional opinion, possibly to witchcraft. So there is that.
Yes. Yes. You you heard about the apparent murder. Went out to the plantation where it occurred, the tobacco farm, and sure enough, the young master was found hung, and not just
Indeed.
hung, but hung by his own intestines
And that's
from a
just
tree.
not right too. I mean, granted, that should take more precedent possibly at the beginning of my statements than the
Yes,
horse. But
you sort of
there
buried
was
the
a lot
lead there,
going.
didn't you?
Yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot going on in the comments. So,
But
that poor horse.
then you tracked his horse into the woods, which was apparently led away, and it would appear to be ritually sacrificed.
Indeed. And I've read about some of the things that we've seen in the works of the Reverend Cotton Mather from Massachusetts. So I'm not too keen on some of the similarities that we are seeing here.
Very good. Well, yes, indeed. We don't know the human victim, but we all love horses. That's right. Actually, we do know the human victim. His name is Stephen Taylor, and he was his mother, the widow Taylor, actually met you, as well as Hawkins, the footman you spoke to.
Yes,
at
and
the plantation, and he's the one that actually led you out to where the body is.
Indeed.
Very good.
And then Dr. Carlisle, he claimed the body. I've taken my notes.
Indeed,
yes. Well, yes.
And then the body was buried very quickly.
Indeed, before we got a chance to make any further inquiries.
Yes, indeed. Now then, let us also bring in Comfort Gooden. Hello, Comfort. Let's get rid of that banner so that we can see your smiling face. There you are.
Oh, good day.
So how are you feeling about all of these strange occurrences?
I must admit I'm quite unsettled. This is not what I had expected when moving originally to Alexandria. I thought it was a bit safer, given, of course, it's a fairly settled environment. But, well, after understanding and learning what happened to poor Master Stephen, and now this poor creature, yes, unsettled is a very good word for it.
Very well. Understandably so. We also have Jonas, the mountain, the trapper and huntsman. How are you feeling, Jonas?
I'm wondering who killed this boy. I think it's somebody that knew him personally. I only say that because of the horse laying down. Does it make sense? No. I'm working under the assumption that right now that somebody killed him. Whoever killed the horse is probably the same person. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the assumption I'm working under. But because the horse was willingly led there and willingly laid down, I think perhaps it was either someone who was very good with horses or someone who was already familiar with the horse.
An interesting observation. We also have with us Cotton Nettles, our local butcher and all-around handyman.
Evening. Yes, as someone who's slaughtered horses before, it's never pleasant, never really, not usually this, it's done with a lot more respect for the animal, as we're looking at this right now, and all I've seen in case of Master Stephen in this is just waste. It's waste of human life. It's waste of life in general, and it's a waste of resources in every which way possible. Yeah.
Very good. Obviously, Cotton is very distraught about the wastefulness of this all.
Of all of it.
So you are still, when we last left you, you had discovered the horse. You are in the woods on the edge of the tobacco plantation of Stephen Taylor. You found the horse. It is lying on a stone slab, and it appears to have been ritually sacrificed and disemboweled. And there we are. What would you like to do about it?
I would like to move around, like just kind of look around and see if I can see any blood that may have left the general vicinity. Like basically look, see if there's any blood trappings or anything that gives me an idea of what might have done this or who might have done this, where they moved.
Very well. If you would, you are a trapper. You can roll 4d6.
In the same, while he's doing that, in the same way that we found that Master Stephen was hung from the tree while alive, I would like to see if I can just discover what we know the animal was calm, but we'll see if anything is missing from this animal. You said the entrails were spread about. If there's anything missing,
very well. You can roll your butchery skill to determine that. Jonas, what did you get?
15.
15?
Yes.
You do find it appears to be some sort of a shoe prints here and there. A soft soled shoe, though, not like a hard boot or anything. And with a 15, it leads the horse in, goes around the stone slab, and then departs off into the woods by itself.
Okay.
It is definitely human shod feet. Not terribly large feet, not child-sized, but not terribly large feet.
Okay.
I would also like to investigate to see if there is anything around there indicating that someone else was involved, such as offerings of herbs or anything that would be unusual in this particular part of the property.
What trait would you use for that?
Most likely I would use herbalist.
Herbalist? Okay, you may roll for your herbalist trait.
I got a 13.
13? Very well. Cotton, it's all the pieces appear to be here except the heart.
Everyone, this animal's heart has been removed.
And taken where?
Your guess is
Just
as good as
gone?
mine.
It's not in amongst the rest of that.
No. I've yeah, it's not here.
Dear.
Yes, you do. In fact, with what Jonas knows from looking around, it's the heart is nowhere around here. There is also not a blood trail indicating that the heart was picked up and held dripping and walked away. So it must have either been put in something or into a bag or some such. Comfort, what did you get on your herbalism?
Only a 9.
Only a 9? There are no obvious, like, herbs or plants or anything that have been used in this. It's just what symbolism there is apparently was all done with the horse itself. There are, as you're looking, it looks like maybe like little squiggles of blood, like they were written. Things were written on the horse in its own blood.
What type of remind me, what time of day is it?
You were there you were there about midday, I believe, at this point, because you went to the funeral first,
Right.
and then
Are there any
came out.
Are there any animals or any birds about?
I mean, it's just normal woodland.
All right.
It's not like it's eerily quiet or anything. It's just
Have the yeah. I imagine a great deal of bugs though.
yes, the flies are starting to swarm.
Did anybody look into what the squiggles, like anything look familiar to anybody last time? I don't remember that.
I believe Jefferson Clay was had some allusions to the works of Cotton Mather.
Indeed.
Okay.
Could I make a roll on because I'm pretty sure I don't have my book or anything like that with me, but would I be able to make a roll on just remembering anything that I
Sure.
read, like,
Sure. As a Quaker, and a minister primarily, I will allow that.
Yeah. So real quick, I'm sorry. Would this come under like? Because I did say professional knowledge, but this would come under the ministerial thing of like
Yes.
It's that whole fun thing where science and religion are still intertwined very much.
Yes, it would be much more. The fact that you are a minister would be what would give you this. So yes.
All right. I did very well on this roll right here. 19.
My goodness. So as you're looking, you're recognizing some of these, and it has been described as the symbols of witchcraft by Cotton Mather, very clearly. And with a 19, you also get the distinct feeling of revenge out of this. That whatever ceremony was performed was in some way, shape, or form related to revenge.
All right, I'm going to share that with all of them, of all the rest of you. So I feel the need. I'm going to have to go home and look this up because I'm reasonably sure I have one, if not several, of Cotton Mather's books in my rooms. But this was about revenge for some reason.
Against the horse.
Probably not against the horse. I doubt that the horse wronged somebody. I believe the horse.
I've known some horses.
I'm going to say I've known some asshole horses in my life.
Yes.
All right, we all have.
Check with the who owns an apple orchard? Who owns is the sugar cube factory?
But
about.
also, did the horse? Well, if we're going down this road, did the horse wrong somebody? Did it wrong a man who was trying to shod the horses and he kicked him in the face or something? Maybe
What do we
just simply
do?
need to go to the farrier.
In the meantime, what should we do with the carcass?
Well, you are a butcher.
Right, and
Is that or leave it for the animals?
it could.
I think we should bury it. I think we should remove the sanctified bits of it here and either burn them or at least bury them under the eyes of God.
Seems like a bit of a waste, but
I'd say burn.
Yes, I cannot see butchering this
Yeah,
monstrosity at this point. It's
that was
You
just
do not
it's
know
thinking
if
out
it's
safe.
already well butchered. I'm not
Well,
suggesting
Yeah.
that, but
I
Um,
was thinking out loud. I'm so sorry.
Cotton, in your investigations, they also took no care in not perforating the bowels.
mhm,
This meat is spoiled. You cannot use
yeah,
it.
yeah. Still, I'm with Jonas, who suggested burning it. This I would, but I would. Is there something we could maybe bring back to show the people of the owners of the horse that this is what we did? Perhaps the shoes. Let's take the shoes.
what would the shoes show?
Horses have shoes, and it's
Well-
something that we could remove and bring back. Say we found the horse; it was dead. We're not bringing back a bloody carcass.
At the least of it, the iron will be useful.
Well, there is that, but yes, for I
Waste
cannot
not,
see.
want not.
True, I simply do not see how one could identify a horse by its shoes.
Is there anything special on its shoes that would mark it as a particular horse?
I just
of
thought it
the
was
Taylor
something
family?
that we could bring back instead of cutting off part of the horse and bringing it back. It was
Well,
that's
that would be-
Is the horse branded or anything anywhere?
No, it is not.
Okay.
also don't they say horseshoes are good luck?
was
Listen,
not for
if
this
we're dealing-
horse, was it?
Well, for
No,
them-
but if we but might be better for us. I don't like any of this, and anything that could bring me any bit of luck.
As you
What
are
do
moving
say,
around, you
Reverend?
notice that there is the halter and saddle tossed off in the brush.
Bring that too.
I think that's much better than anything else we could bring
That
back.
would be easily identifiable as belonging to the
Indeed.
household.
How far out into the woods can I follow the footsteps before I lose them?
How far would you like to go?
As far as I can follow them.
Remind me what you rolled. You rolled a 15, is that correct?
15, 1-5.
You get about probably a good 50 yards through the woods until it hits a stream.
Okay.
And then you lose the tracks in the stream. Your deduction is that they walked through the stream at that point.
Okay. And it's still pretty much nothing but wilderness out from there.
Yes, it becomes much more wild. No one's cleared the land out this far yet. The stream, however, that the footsteps disappear to, as a tracker, you are vaguely aware of geographical landmarks in the area. This stream, if you are not mistaken, winds its way eventually back to town.
I would, as my secondary sailor navigator, would I be able to look to see if there might be a quicker way to follow that into town?
Yes, you don't even need to roll for that. It's using the road that you came on would be a much faster journey than just following the stream. But even so, it's an hour walk for you to get back into town. Somebody who was in the stream, it might have taken them like 2 or 3 hours to get back to town. But this occurred last night, you're guessing. And as a result, that person would be long gone.
Right, but it would give us a better idea of where it followed out into the stream into town. Just in case
You could follow the stream and determine that if you wanted.
We've got to head back in. I'm curious as to whether this runs past the house again, or at least the property.
Give me your trapper roll real quick again.
Oh, this one's better. 19.
19. This stream does not go back by the house.
Okay.
It winds through the woods and eventually comes into the outskirts of town.
Okay. Does it run through the town anywhere?
It empties into the Potomac.
Okay, so yes.
Which is the river that the town is upon.
But does it actually run through it, or does it go around it? Like, does the stream itself run anywhere through the town proper, or is it built? Is the town built so the stream is not factor into?
Oh, yeah, the stream does not go through like the center of town or anything.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was more curious about.
No, it does not. Here's a map of the town. And you can see that there is some stream up in that upper right corner. So that would be... So it doesn't go through town, but it goes into town.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, perhaps we bring the family back the saddle and let them know, and then back to Jefferson Clay's to research.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds
Should
like
we
the best idea yet.
should we write down some of these, or would that be not a good idea? These markings.
I think we should write it down just so I can sketch them out, so I can compare them to what's in the book.
If you know that there's a way to do that without accidentally bringing, I don't like this. I don't like anything about it. I am very weary of bringing anything. Whatever did this is pretty terrible. I do not wish to bring it further into civilization.
In that case, keep that horseshoe in your pocket, my friend.
Oh, I've already pried it off.
You take one of the horseshoes?
Absolutely.
Very well.
And I'm gonna start sketching down what I see.
All right. After a 15 minutes or so, you manage to the symbols that you can clearly see. You've managed to sketch into a book.
All right.
On the back pages.
All right. I'm gonna need to compare this to what I have at home.
Very well. You return then to the farm.
But before we do, we were talking about disposing of this, right? Burning it.
Burning it.
Yeah.
With what are you going to burn it?
I have no problem gathering wood to destroy this, to burn it.
What time of the year is it again?
Spring.
Oh, great, the wood is wet.
Is there any dead trees, anything that's like that?
Well, the horse is covered with hair. Hair usually burns pretty quickly.
It smells terrible.
So you were going to erect a pyre out of deadfall and the horse.
Yeah.
Very well.
Like you do.
You ignite it with your tinder, and you do get it burning, and it smells awful.
Yes, this is a horror game. Yes.
It is a wretched smell, and to make matters worse, the flesh doesn't burn so much as just smolder. In order to burn a corpse, you need a very high temperature.
We're essentially cooking the horse.
And slowly and poorly. The scent is wafting out throughout the woods now.
I've smelt worse.
Cotton, yes, you have.
Pick up the saddle and the saddlebags.
Very well.
Jonas is going firmly with the, well, we did what we could.
Let it burn.
Leaving the stench behind you, you make your way back to the farmhouse. And Hawkins, the footman, meets you out at the front door. He sees you coming, and he gestures to the distant haze of smoke. He goes, do you know what that is?
No idea.
Unfortunately, we do. No idea.
What is going on?
It was an animal that died an unfortunate death that needed to be disposed of.
In an unrelated note, Comfort, give him the saddle. We really should have carried it instead of you, but you.
Well, yes, there you are.
I said I picked up the saddle.
Yeah, Jonas had
All
it.
right.
I have
And the saddlebag.
Realization dawns upon his face. Oh, I see.
What kind of shoes is he wearing?
He is actually wearing boots.
Okay.
Hard-soled boots.
What was the animal's name?
That one was Lightning.
Well,
Sort of a misnomer with one of our lazier horses.
Was there anyone who had a particular grudge against Master Stephen, or especially anything that would involve the horse or any of your animals?
Well, I mean, we have a couple of neighbors who are also farmers, but we seem to get along fine with them. The native activity has died down since the end of the war. I don't know of any personal enemies.
Not to be too indelicate, of course, for he was a young man. Perhaps difficulties of the feminine variety?
The young master was not currently courting anyone. He was of age, but he was worried more about setting up the business of his father's household these past several years. So he had not gotten around to looking for a wife for himself yet.
But such an eligible young man with land, of course.
Certainly
not...
it was going to be eventually. It's just he had other priorities at the moment.
Yes, but he might not have been looking. Was anyone looking perhaps at him? We all know how mothers do enjoy trying to match their daughters to eligible bachelors, even if the bachelors themselves do not wish to be made eligible at the moment.
Well, he mentioned that there was a young lady who was being a little flirtatious to him in town. I did not get a name, but it was at Mason's Ordinary, I believe. He was down there at some point when he was in town, and I do remember him mentioning that a young lady was flirting with him.
that's where we were last night, was it not?
Yes, that is the main tavern in town.
gentlemen, perhaps we should ask Master Mason or Mistress Mason if they are aware of anything.
Indeed, let us retire.
Mhm.
He's thank you for this, and he takes the saddles inside.
Your servant.
If I can be of any other assistance, please let me know.
Thank you, sir.
Again, apologies.
He gives a nod and goes back inside. You make your way back to town.
As we're walking back, what do we think? I say to the crew, what do we think of him? I saw you looking at his boots there, Jonas.
Don't match.
Hmm.
He was wearing boots. The other one was made by something softer.
His feet were also significantly larger than the footprints you saw.
Okay.
He seems genuinely distraught as well.
Distraught as well as the lady of the house.
Well, perhaps not quite as much as the young man's lady mother, but yes, definitely as if he is affected by it.
We haven't seen much of her, and we also haven't seen. We also didn't get to see the master himself.
The master himself is dead.
Oh no, I know. Yes. But we didn't
Comfort.
he was already in the ground when we got to the.
Oh, the young master.
He meant
Yes.
Stephen.
Yes.
Jonas, do me a favor.
Hmm.
Hold out your foot.
Oh.
I want to see the size of your foot. All right. Comfort, could you show me your foot?
Of course, I am
Oh,
unfortunately not quite as
I
nimble
knew-
at the moment. But
you know,
imagine
I
my foot
said
is
it
in the
last
air.
time about these Quakers. I said it before. I know it.
Got
Anything
nothing
see
to
an
do
ankle-
with that. It's
Doesn't
got
it?
nothing to.
No.
Listen. I am a very happy man. I have no interest in her feet or Jonas's feet, other
Listen,
than purely professional.
listen, Jefferson Tarantino Clay. I need you to keep things on the above board, please.
All right, absolutely.
What
Cotton,
interest have you in our feet?
just a moment. Cotton, hold up your foot.
I take off my leg.
No, just with your shoe in it. Just with your
Oh.
shoe in it. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you. I didn't need that. Sir, thank you. All right. And here's mine. All right. Now, all three of us, gentlemen, we have bigger feet than Comfort.
This is in fact true.
And Jonas, you pointed out that Hawkins had bigger feet than the footprints that we saw. That they were a smaller footprint, a softer imprint.
Well, that is a question I should have asked earlier. Were the footprints? You said they weren't childlike. Were they on the super small side, like probably more feminine, or were they in that uncanny valley of could be anybody's foot?
There was not a clearly defined woman's shoe, but by the size of it, now that you are talking about it and discussing it, you would guess that it was either a woman's foot or an adolescent's foot. Not a child, but
Or like a teenager, or no, or I mean a tween or something. Are there any other children in that family?
no.
I think we might be looking for a young woman.
Possibly.
Going with your concept, Comfort, that you brought up earlier, of maybe there was a young lady who was possibly a little sperm.
You did
And
say,
Hawkins pointed out that she was flirting with young Master Taylor.
and you did mention that revenge was involved, and of
Indeed.
course, a young lady who is brazen enough to flirt with someone in public at the ordinary
Indeed.
might be someone. Now, I do not know that a woman would be able to do to Master Stephen, such as was done to him, but
If this was done though with black magic, we cannot rule out the possibility that maybe it was a young lady.
We're also making assumptions that it was only one.
That's true. Could be an entire coven.
Also,
Right.
there was a horse involved that can easily listen. Without getting too graphic in it, you can use an animal to help heave something up.
True.
and honestly, talk of witches at this day and age, we are a little bit past quite so much, are we not?
We are, however, let's just point out that when you eliminate the downright impossible, under the side of heaven, whatever remains, no matter how improbable, could very well be our answer. So, I don't want to rule anything out yet. I need to go and do some reading, and I need to compare my notes with what we have in the book, and we need to interview some people, I think.
Sickness can do terrible things to people and make them believe just about anything. It can make them believe that they have been possessed. I'll cut open an animal, and it will be riddled with parasites. And these parasites can get into also. Who knows what these people think might be happening? So.
Well, let us first go to the ordinary and see what the Masons have to say. If they remember anything at all, we might be chasing down a path that has no end.
Right. We should also check in on that printer.
Yes.
See how he's doing. Yeah. I will leave you for a few minutes. I'm gonna go to my rooms and grab and get my books so I can start studying in.
Very good. You retrieve the books and you all reconvene at the ordinary, Mason's Ordinary, the tavern. It is early afternoon by this point.
Okay. Anybody else in there?
There are one or two folks, gentlemen. Looks like they are associated with the river trade, so they are there having a pint. It does not take long to find Charles, Mr. Mason, the master of the house, comes by. Sees you sees you at one of the tables and comes on over. And what can I get for you?
Master Mason, we were hoping we could speak with you regarding the unfortunate death of Master Stephen Taylor.
Yes. Yes, indeed. He's looking at the two guests that are at the other side of the tavern. He's like, just quietly though.
Of course.
Would you like to step into the kitchen, sir?
No. That would be even more suspicious. Go ask your questions, but just not too loud. We don't want panic to be spread.
Well, I doubt these questions will spread panic. It is more a question about whether or not a young lady showed undue interest in Stephen here at the Ordinary.
Huh. Well, I don't know. Huh.
When he was here, who did he hang out with?
Oh, normally he would just sit at the table and talk with friends and townsfolk and have a couple of pints, discuss the latest taxes, and then head back on out. Let me ask my wife. Let me get Anne out here. She is much more in tune with such things. Just a moment, please. and he goes in the back, and then his wife, a matronly sort, comes on out. Yeah, yes. What can I do for you? You are asking about if somebody was fancying young Master Stephen.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I don't remember any of the regular ladies in town who are available associating with him in a free manner, but now that I think of it, maybe that's what that was. Young Abigail, she was talking with him a bit when he was here last time. But she's not from around here.
Where is she from?
I don't rightly know. She wandered in, confused and disoriented. We put her up for a couple of days, and she has since found somewhere else to live. I'm not entirely certain where. I see her occasionally. She has been in once or twice since Master Stephen was here last. Abigail Hutchinson is her name.
Hutchinson. Abigail Hutchinson. Does that name sound familiar to any of you?
Hutchinson was one of the names of one of the judges in the Salem witch trials, wasn't it?
What would I know of such things?
No, it was not, by the way.
Oh, okay. I'm sort of like, that sounds familiar.
I'm going to stop your faulty little line of reasoning right there. No.
All right, thank you
No.
so much.
You said she.
However,
I was about to go down a weird path.
however, you do see who wanders in is Ambrose Smith, the printer.
What kind of shoes is he wearing? For that matter, what kind of shoes are freaking everybody wearing?
Everyone,
I have developed the
take
world's
off your
fastest
shoes
foot
and give them
fetish.
to Jonas.
Everyone here is wearing hard-soled shoes, including Anne Mason. She has very utilitarian shoes on.
Okay.
Hard-soled for working in the tavern. She does most of the cooking here as well.
Would Mr. Sam, you said she took a room here for a time?
Yes, she did.
And which room would that be?
Oh, room 4, but she has not been in there in a little while. Probably about a week and a half. Ambrose, she calls over to the printer who has just walked in. Didn't you write something about poor Abby? Yes. Yeah. It was the strangest thing. We had it. She was in a little side note in the news in my broadside the one day. She was found wandering around disoriented, but seemed to get her wits back about her, and she never did say where she had come from originally.
And didn't you, Mrs. Mason, just say a few moments ago that she was disoriented when she was here?
Yes, she was. She eventually gathered her wits about her again, but the first day or so, she was almost insensible.
Sensible how?
Insensible.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard you, so sorry.
Yes, insensible. She was staring off into space, seemed completely out of sorts.
Had she been injured? Any evidence that she had taken perhaps a knock to the noggin?
None that I could see. I mean, it was about almost a full month ago when she arrived. It was cold. She was all bundled up, so I wouldn't necessarily have noticed any injuries, I suppose, on her.
How are you feeling, Ambrose?
And you know where she is.
Oh, he's like, that's
Didn't eat the stew, did you?
I only a little.
Oh, well.
This might seem like an odd question, but as we've been talking, quite often taxes seem to reappear in the conversation over and over again. You mentioned that Master Stephen would often come in to speak with his friends and to drink and to speak about taxes.
Well-
What were his thoughts on the matter?
He was he was part of the group that in town that is very much against the constant raising that Parliament keeps putting on us colonies to pay for the war. It's very. All the landowners are very up in arms about it, mostly in this area. They are very disgruntled. They say something about not having any representation in Parliament and how dare they tax them.
Well, I'm sure that will blow over. Well, let's just
complaining that the taxes are too high. Well, you know what, Ambrose? So are mine. Petty grievances.
So you said she had been in here. She was here and then she left, and then she'd come back recently. How recently?
Oh, maybe 3 days ago.
Did she take up her room?
No, she just came in for a bite to eat and for some ale. She was just chatting with people.
Who was she chatting with, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I don't know. A couple people around town, the various merchants and all. She was talking to what was his name? John Sewell. She was talking to him a bunch. Nice young man. He has a shipping concern that he is getting underway here in Alexandria.
Is John Sewell a name we would recognize?
You don't recognize the name John Sewell off the top of your heads, anybody? No.
All right. Where might we find John Sewell?
He's got a house on King Street, right over there. And she takes you to the door, points down the street. It's only about 3 blocks down, and you can kind of see the house. It's one of the houses in the row. That one right there.
Oh yeah, that
the
one.
The town is not very big.
Yeah.
I still kind of would like to look around her old room just in case, but
we are not
We'd
racing
rather talk to
anywhere,
him.
Carlton. We are not racing anywhere. I'm
Would
certain
that be
his house will
permissible,
still be there when you are done.
When she's left, which way does she go?
I
noticed.
Does she remember? Let's find out. I vaguely that direction, and she gestures to the north side of town.
Okay.
Would you like to see her room?
Yes, please. If it pleases you.
Now, I think we've had a traveler or two there since she's been here, but I can certainly show it to you if you like. So she takes you upstairs to room 4. It's a very simple room. It's got a basin and a bedpan in it. It's got a small little wardrobe and trunk, simple wooden frame bed with a stuffed straw mattress. There's a small, very small little writing desk, only this wide, with a little chair, and that's the extent of the room, with one window looking out onto.
Which direction? To the river.
Mm-hmm.
All
So
right.
to the south.
I'm going to look around the room. Look under, move some stuff about.
Look under the bed.
Yep.
Go ahead and what do you all think would be good for a searching type role?
I'm not going with up there because I'm pretty much useless indoors. So I'm just sitting down at the table.
All right.
I don't think any of mine actually fit, so it would just be a 2d6.
Yeah, I would let you all roll 2d6, no problem.
Yeah.
Hold
Yes,
on.
please.
Go ahead.
Ooh, just a 4.
And I was rolling my eyes at a 6.
2d6.
Yes, sir.
Double 6 is 12.
Nice. Very nice.
Well then, you do manage to go through everything and take a look around. The place has been swept, but not maybe as tidy as they could have been. And you do find a small letter that has fallen down behind the bed and was behind the leg. It is addressed to an Abigail Hutchinson. It has been opened and read and stuffed back in the envelope. The address that is given for this is for a public house in Philadelphia. There is no sender on the outer edge of the envelope. Would you care to read it?
Yes, please.
You open it up, and it is from a lawyer who is just skimming through it very quickly, telling Abigail that her father's the inheritance from her father was almost gone, and approving of her journey to Alexandria, Virginia, to look for further employment.
Well, it looks like she's looking for work, out of money, and I think we found more than we came in here with. Shall we to Sewell's place?
I believe so. Looking for money, and of course, looking in the general direction of Master Taylor's, what it sounds like. Yes, let us away to Sewell's.
Very well. You make your way to the house that was pointed out as Master Sewell's. It's a small little row house. Yes, sir.
Just before I go, I leave the letter there.
Very well.
Yeah, same place. Just
very well. You make your way to Sewell's house. The door is closed. It is at this point 4 in the afternoon. There appears to be no activity at the house.
Knock, knock.
You knock. There is no response.
And it's a row house.
Yeah, I go next door.
Very well.
I knock on the door.
An older woman answers the door. Yes.
What was Sewell's profession again?
He had a shipping venture.
Hello. We're looking for Mr. Sewell. He doesn't seem to be in. Has he been in about?
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Seward. I thought I heard some commotion this morning, so I assumed he went out. But now that you mention it, I haven't seen him all day.
What sort of commotion?
Oh, there was a bunch of bumping and dragging about sounds, like furniture being moved. And I heard the door open and close, and then it open and close again. This would have been right about sunrise.
Or just, looking. We just wanted to meet him about some shipping concerns. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes. If you do see him, let him know that I do have some extra flour that he was asking for. If he wants to come over and get it.
Oh, how kind! Lovely to have wonderful neighbours, is it not? This looks like
indeed,
a nice.
Indeed. Well, a good
this
day
is a
to
nice
you.
Street.
Being subtle as a brick that I am, I'm just walking back over to School's house and trying the door to see if it's unlocked.
The door is in fact unlocked.
Ooh.
Again, subtle as a brick.
You enter in. There's the main entry area. It's a 2-story affair. The first floor is like a sitting room, and then the kitchen is in the back, and then there are stairs that go up allegedly to the living chambers.
Okay, and having never been in here before, is all the furniture like in place, as in like in an area that makes sense?
From what you're looking around right now, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go upstairs.
And the rest of you?
Well, shall we follow Mr. Jonas to make sure he does not get into any trouble?
I'm going to
Always.
stay. Yeah, I'm going to stay down here just to keep an eye out.
All right.
Very well.
I'm going to follow Jonas.
Jefferson?
Always, I'm gonna go up as well.
Very well. Jonas leads the way.
About halfway up the stairs, I am going to do an A. Hello?
The only sound that you are met with is the sound of some flies buzzing.
Oh, that is never good.
And a coppery aroma assaults your nostrils.
That blood.
I hold a handkerchief to my nose.
Indeed.
Dear.
Because I'm going to go up and carefully open each door as I come to them.
There's only 2 on the top floor.
Okay.
And both the doors are wide open, and the one that you look at immediately is ajar. In there, you see, as you're coming up the stairs, you see legs dangling off the floor with a pool of blood around it. And as you ascend the stairs and you see more of the grisly picture, you see a young man whose belly has been ripped open, and he is in fact hung by his own intestines from the rafter.
That's 2.
Does this one look as if it was also a clean cut?
Are you approaching?
Yes, I am.
It is fresh. Cotton, give me a roll for your primary trait.
Oh, I'm still downstairs, but
Oh, right. I assume they will call you up.
Yes, I am a farmer's wife, and farming my own self right now.
All right, go ahead. You can roll as a farmer.
All right.
And Jonas, you can roll as a trapper as well.
19.
Did you want me to come up? Is everything all right?
Please come up here, Mr. Nettles.
13.
It's about the same.
So,
I'm
you
assuming-
arrive. I've described the scene. You could go ahead and give me a butchery roll.
Oh, wondrous.
I'm assuming there is blood everywhere.
Yes, all over the floor, and all the furniture has been pushed out and against the walls.
Is the body still
21.
warm? Oh, nice. Is the body still warm?
With your 19 and his 21, this occurred probably in the last 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours.
Is the heart there?
Yes, actually, it is.
And
Was it the same? Was it the same situation? He wasn't. Was he strung up while alive?
It would certainly seem to be.
Are there any symbols about?
Indeed, there are. There are similar symbols to what you saw on the horse, on the floor, presumably in his own blood.
Mr. Clay, what do you make of that?
all right, I'm gonna. Do I recognize them from? Are they matching up with what we saw at the horse scene?
They're not exactly 100% identical, but it seems to be the general gist of it as well.
All right, I have since I have picked up my copy of Memorable Providences. I'm gonna just start skimming through it.
I go back downstairs and I'm red alert, wide alert. I'm looking at the entrance and exits. I'm downstairs.
All right. So yes, this is clearly an occult ritual spell of some kind. The cut is clean. He apparently did not struggle, and he was hung up while alive. You are able to deduce that the chair in the room he stood on the chair, and then the chair was moved off to the side for the actual hanging by somebody else.
Are there any prints of blood? Like, does the blood... Pardon me. Has the blood been trapped anywhere outside of that room?
No, it appears to be all contained in this room.
Are there signs of a struggle, as if he fought?
No.
It looks as if he did this willingly.
It
Or at
would
least climbed onto
seem.
the chair himself. Oh, dear.
It would seem. He was not fought. There are no signs of breaking in, no signs of a struggle, no signs of violence besides what was done to his intestines. And then
Could he have been drugged to do this himself?
I will say that looking at this, there is no way he did this himself.
Okay.
Somebody else
right.
had to be involved. The chair, and you know this because the chair that he must have been standing on was not kicked away. It was moved away and placed in an orderly fashion against the wall.
While I'm downstairs, I assume there is the front door. Is there also a back door?
Yes, there is. That goes back to a courtyard in the back.
Is there a window I can casually look out of? And what I want to do is I want to see if there's anybody coming in or coming out, and to make sure if I can lock both doors.
There is no one coming in or coming out, and you certainly can lock both doors. Both keys are there.
All right. I just don't want any surprises from the outside. I'm absolutely terrified of any surprises that might still be in here, but I'm keeping my eyes and ears open for the entrance and egresses.
All right. Again, no signs of struggle. Appears to have been unlocked, and not relocked after the assumed murder. Taking a look around, it would seem that that young Master Sewell lived alone. But you do the one room is his bedchamber, and the other room upstairs apparently is his office.
Once the doors are locked, I'm going to take out the keys, and I'm going to go upstairs and join them.
All right. You are all assembled at the crime scene.
No.
As far as the... Go ahead.
Oh, I just don't take it if I'm just making sure that no one else is coming in. We don't get any more surprises.
Perhaps we should call someone in authority to come and take care of the body.
Yes.
Check the office, though. Somebody who can actually read, not me.
Oh, so you want to go through his office?
Not me personally. Jonas can't read.
Oh, very well.
All right, I'll check the office.
You, bookman, look at the squiggles.
Absolutely.
Very well. If you would, what do you think would be a like? You're a minister, but you're a Quaker.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? What were your side traits again?
Abolitionist, and I studied medicine. I'm not a practicing doctor, but
Right. I will let
studied
you roll
medicine.
3d6 while you're looking around.
All right,
Go ahead.
3d6. All right.
Yes, sir.
Only a 9.
Very well. You don't understand his shipping manifests and such are all there. You do, however, you do find a Bible. Not uncommon in this day and age, in this location. But you do find a Bible. It's a family Bible. This was John Sewell. His father was Joseph, and his grandfather used to own the Bible as well, Samuel Sewell. That name might ring a bell. Roll me your minister. Cotton, Comfort, you may also roll.
All right,
So
rolling.
Comfort and Jefferson roll.
How many?
What am I rolling as?
Roll 3d6, Comfort, if you would, please.
Of
How many for
course.
me?
I'm sorry?
How many?
Not you, Cotton.
Oh.
I misspoke. Comfort.
16 for me.
17 on my full.
17.
Yeah.
You both recognize that name. Samuel Sewell was one of the judges at the Salem witch trials, which means that John Sewell was his grandson.
Oh my.
Oh dear.
All right, my friends. The Taylors moved here from Massachusetts a little over 60 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sewell is the grandson of Samuel Sewell, who was a judge in Salem. This was done as revenge. Witches are real, and they are seeking revenge against anybody from Salem. This is what I think is going on.
But that was so long ago. Why would someone hold a grudge, wish revenge
And was it
now?
Generation.
So long ago. It's not. The people are well.
Not any longer.
No.
It
I
is.
forget what the
It has
Taylor's
been
opposite
decades since
thing
that
moving
occurred.
here.
I'm sorry, Jonas. What was that?
Well, the Taylors moved from out of this area. Did they come from the Massachusetts area as well?
Yeah,
Yes.
60 years ago.
it's a generational pain. Avenging, maybe it's a descendant of somebody who was executed in Salem.
Your book got those names in it.
Yeah, I have the book. I have the names of every person killed in Salem.
Sounds like a fun read.
Oh, thankfully not a horrifically long list.
Are there any names in that book that we would find here in Alexandria? Is Hutchinson among that list?
No, Hutchinson is not.
I'm gonna while they're reading, I'm going to just I mean I rolled pretty well with the looking at the body as a butcher. I'm just I don't like him up there, but also I don't want to touch anything and get blood on me. Because we should alert the authorities, but I'm not going to alert the authorities while covered in blood.
No, that would not go well for you.
Yeah.
I do. Can I shut the door?
Perhaps I should go and alert the authorities. If anything, amongst the four of us, I am the least likely to be suspected of doing such damage to a man.
The Quaker.
I'll go too. I have no blood on me or my hands.
So, what is your plan? How are you going to alert the authorities?
So we're going to leave the two people who could conceivably have done it with the body.
You can lift them down. You're big, sturdy.
How about this? I will, Jefferson, you and I will go next door and have her go alert the authorities.
How about
We
just
stay
wait
here
downstairs before we get any blood on ourselves and we can be implicated?
because she also heard something before we showed up.
True.
At sunrise,
True.
yes. Which
We can all stay together. We can say, "Hello, you remember us? We just showed up. We tried the door. It was unlocked. Here's what we found. Please alert the authorities." That is my suggestion.
All right.
Works for me.
It is a very simple matter to be done. Now that you have decided, the neighbor does in fact go, and the militia do come. 2 militiamen and the mayor arrive to investigate. What would you like to tell them?
We came here, of course, to speak with Master Sewell. He was not home. However, when we spoke with the good wife next door, she mentioned that she had heard commotion this morning. So Master Jonas decided we should check it out, and I am pleased he did. Otherwise, who knows how long this poor unfortunate soul would have stayed here, hung in such a manner.
roll me 3d6 as you're negotiating, as you are, since Comfort is the one taking the lead on speaking here.
13.
13.
Yes.
They seem slightly skeptical, but they don't really have anything to tie you to the to any of you to this occurrence, and so they eventually they thank you and they ask you to leave, and they will take care of this.
Quite happy to depart.
On your way out, they say, "Please, we don't want to start a panic, so please keep this to yourselves for as long as you can."
While we were waiting for the police for them to show up, I replaced the keys. I have nothing from this place.
Very well.
All right.
Just making that clear. I do still have the horseshoe.
I would like to talk with the mayor for very briefly.
He looks over. Yeah, yes.
Mr. Mayor, I think it might be wise to institute a town curfew.
He gestures behind him where the two militiamen are trying not to gag as they're trying to remove the body. And he says, "I have 4 more of those at my disposal. How am I going to maintain a curfew with 6 men?"
We could
Tell people the truth so they stay in of their own accord.
And what good is it staying in? This is in his house.
We advise everybody to lock their doors.
Yes, but telling someone to lock their doors would alert them to a problem, perhaps of something much greater.
Maybe. But maybe everybody needs to be wary.
Perhaps rather than noting that there is a potential lunatic running about, eviscerating young men.
And horses.
And horses. Perhaps we could say there is someone who has not yet left the war behind. And
the war only ended last year.
Exactly. Someone who's not quite left the war behind, and everyone should remain safe in their homes until this person is apprehended.
That's good. Some dissembling, but that's good. Look at you.
I believe the Lord will forgive me for a bit of misdirection.
So
a little venial sin. It's not too bad.
The mayor says, I guess I could spread word that there is a suspicion that there is a veteran of the war who is reliving it when he is inebriated, and to be cautious.
Wise.
Very well. Wise. I will get Ambrose to print something out tomorrow. Thank you,
Mr. Mayor.
You know what Abigail Hutchins?
Abigail? That poor waif that wandered into town?
Mm.
I've seen her around. I've not seen
Where
her
she staying? Do you know where she's staying?
You know, I'm not 100% certain, but I thought she was staying with Martin Rich.
Mr. Mayor, how long have you been mayor here?
Oh, for the past 6 years.
You're clearly a very well-bred person. one of great importance, obviously, name recognition. Do you happen to have any family from, let's say somewhere up north?
No, heavens, no. My family is direct from Plymouth,
Direct
England.
from Plymouth.
England.
Oh,
Yeah. With no stopovers in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Oh,
Plymouth
heavens,
Rock.
no. We wouldn't dare want to go up there and stuffy old Puritans. Oh.
Is there anybody you can think of who might be from that area, who's in town?
I mean, several families moved down here from up there. I think Sewell's family is from up that way.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Taylors were too. You know, you should check.
And while he's saying this, I'm
You should. I'm not 100% certain, but I think Taylor was from. His family was from there, but that was not the name. I would go check the church and the church registry. That it might tell you.
right. If you think of anybody, maybe send someone around just to make sure they're all. If they need anything.
Strange, but I guess.
You guess.
I mean, why am I particularly warning people from the Massachusetts colony?
2 people
Do you
from the
want-
colony dead the same manner.
His eyes get a little bigger. Oh. Heavens.
Well, good luck on your re-election. We'll be in touch. Let's go.
Great point, man.
He turns back into the room to oversee the militiamen taking down the corpse.
I think we should go to the church, or at least I
Let's-
should, right away.
we can go with you, of course.
Agreed.
It is now early evening at this point. It's about 7 in the evening.
All right.
Yes, the church. It's an Anglican church, Church of England, and the is it? Would he be a full-on vicar? I guess he would be.
Vicar, rector, yeah.
Yes, I think a town's big enough that he would actually be a vicar. But he says, yes, of course. Can I help you?
Absolutely, Vicar. I was wondering if you happen to know if any of the families beyond the Sewells and the Taylors may have traveled down here in recent decades from Massachusetts Bay Colony.
Don't have much truck with the Puritans, but I can show you the birth registries and such.
That'd be grand. Thank you.
Everybody who was born in the area of the church, in the jurisdiction of the church, they should be in the church book here. He takes you to the church registry.
You're right.
And after only a slight bit of scanning through, you do in fact find the Taylors. Stephen was the son of William Taylor, who was the heir of William Stoughton, Stoughten. And knowing that you're keyed into it already, Comfort and Jefferson, he was the man who presided over the Salem witch trials, meaning that Stephen, the first victim, was the grandson of the man who presided over the Salem witch trials.
Vicar, as someone who takes in the poor and you haven't anybody come to mind who's needed a bit of aid, perhaps spot for the night. I don't know.
I can't think of it. I would have thought that young what was that waif's name? She turned up at the
Abigail
ordinary.
Abigail. We all
Abigail,
probably
yes,
say
I
it
would
at the
have
same time.
I would have thought she would have come by, but she never did. I've never seen her here in church at all, in fact.
She has not darkened the doorway at all of the church. That is
Now that you mention it, I cannot recall.
very unusual.
Is it?
Yes.
That is frankly illegal.
Mhm.
Well, she's technically not a resident, so I didn't really have any legal recourse about it.
Yes, but even so, would any good Christian woman would want to ensure that her soul was safe?
I think you might have answered your own question there, Comfort.
And she certainly hasn't attended any of our Quaker services either. In the registry, there's no one else showing that they came from Massachusetts, Gloom Master.
You would have to basically go through the entire book at this point. You were looking for the Taylor name, so it was much easier to find that way.
All right.
You would have to spend some time going through this.
King was, what was the other guy's name? The guy that was last seen with her.
Oh, Martin Rich is who she was
Rich.
staying
Is
with.
Rich in there?
You take a look through, and you do in fact find that Martin Rich is in fact a transplant from Massachusetts.
He's either in grave danger or part of this.
Perhaps we should speak with Mr. Rich.
On the double.
Perhaps we should invite him here. Perhaps we should just... it's getting late.
How do you propose we invite him here, Mr.
I
Rich?
don't know.
Hello, Mr.
One of
Rich.
us would have to go to him.
I heard you've been chatting up with a potential witch. Would you care to come to the church with us?
Well, we are making an assumption that it is witch-related.
Yes. It's more of a, let's call it an educated guess, madam, where we have spellcraft on the ground. We have the symbols. We have a revenge-motivated and sent spell on the grounds. We have victims from Massachusetts. We have travelers from Massachusetts, and the victims are related to members of the original trial.
I will grant you it does seem quite suspicious.
Thank
Suspicious
you.
doesn't begin
Supremacy.
with
Now, where was that horse from? That's what the chat wants to know. Was the chat perhaps
Boston bread and bra- and
Yeah,
braised.
it was a fantastic Boston lorry horse, and they sent him down here for his retirement.
ironically when they voted if so and so is a witch, the horse voted nay. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
he's here all week. He's here all
Like
week.
and subscribe, Nat 21 Adventures. There we are. I think I made it into the. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Oh, no,
Of
you are
course,
not.
voted at the Salem witch
No,
trials.
no.
Okay. All right.
Just so you know, Mr. Nettles, you are also very popular right now with the high school set over there in the chat.
Wondrous.
Yeah.
Forgive me for not dancing.
Did
Now,
anybody get the horse's passport?
Now, I'm all about making sure this man knows of the danger he is in. At this, but also, we are in one place that we know this person who, frankly, I'm a bit suspicious of, has not been. So my reluctance to leave this place is growing as it's getting late.
2.5 pounds sterling each.
Yes, there's quite a reward still out there, Master Nettles. Now, you are not from Massachusetts, are you?
Me?
Yes.
No.
Then you are quite safe, apparently.
I don't think. Listen, I don't like any of this, and if we get whatever we get in the way of,
Oh, please, I have walked these streets often at night, late at night, with just a lantern to deliver a child. I think you're being quite foolish, given that you are not from Massachusetts. I am from Hartford Colony, not from Massachusetts. Master Clay, Master Jonas, are you from Salem or anywhere?
I'm not from Salem. I've never ventured outside of the good colony of Virginia. But I will go with you over to Master Rich's house right now, my dear Comfort Goodwin.
Thank you, Master Clay. I fear if we delay, perhaps he will end up strung by his own entrails, as did
Indeed.
Master Cyril.
all right,
And as a man of God, I can't have that on my conscience.
you're right. I'm just saying, if he needs a place to stay, the church might be a good place. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
That is fair, but we need to
Fair.
get
Alright.
to him to let him know that.
Then let's go.
Text messaging has not been invented yet.
Very well. It is, in fact, on the north side of town. Martin Rich's house is up in that upper right corner where the stream comes in.
Great. Here we go.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
You do arrive at his house. It is a standalone house. It's on a bit of a lot. It has not been built up around it yet. It seems to be a nice house of decent size, decent, well, not wealthy, but certainly well off house, with a couple of stairs that lead up to the front door.
Shall we, gentlemen?
You two are the
I
least.
believe we shall. Courage to the sticking place, my friends. Let our armor be the armor of God.
You knock on the door, and a man opens it. He's in his, you would guess he's probably in his 50s. And he says, "Yeah, can I help you?"
Martin Rich.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. I am Jefferson Franklin Clay. I'm your local Quaker minister. My associates, our good midwife, Comfort Goodin, our local town butcher, Mr. Cotton Nettles, and our overall sage of the wilderness, my dear friend Jonas here. And sir, please do not react just yet, but you might be in grave danger tonight.
He cocks his head to the side. How so?
Are you from Massachusetts, sir?
Me personally, no.
Is your family from Massachusetts Bay Colony, sir?
I mean, yes.
And was it your and was any member of your family from the Salem area, specifically potentially being involved in the Salem witch trials of 1693?
He kind of leans back a little bit. He's like, I don't. What is this about?
Sins of the father, my friend.
Or the grandfather.
What?
Sir,
I'm not following your line.
sir, if you will deign to either come with us to what we believe would be a safe place, the house of the Lord, the local church, we can explain everything to you either there or let us darken your doorway inside, and we can explain things here.
Look. Do you want to tell me that I'm in grave danger?
Yes.
And you want me to go with you?
Yes.
To the church?
Yes. Holy ground, sir.
We realize this is a hard sell.
It is
This
quite
is
unusual.
very unusual. It's 8 o'clock at night, and you come to my house, want me to traipse across town.
Do you know who Stephen Taylor is?
He's the tobacco farmer out in the.
Do you know who John Sewell is?
Who?
John Sewell.
John Sewell. He's the merchant down. He's
As
outfitting himself
Comfort
with
has
trading
pointed out,
vessels.
please.
Yes. My good sir, both gentlemen, both Master Stephen and Master John, have been found dead in quite gruesome manners because of their connection as well with Massachusetts and their family's connection to that area and your own family's connection to that area. We have reason to believe that you might also be in danger of meeting the same fate.
I can understand your concern. I will meet you there tomorrow morning at the church.
Perhaps you do not understand, sir, quite just how important this is. This is not perhaps a murderer will wait a few hours and not attack me in my own home. John Sewell was found in his home on the second floor, strung up by his entrails.
He was last seen talking to Abigail Hutchins.
Is she here, sir?
Well, worry not. He reaches around beside the door and produces a pistol. He's holding it up in the air. He goes, I shall be very careful. I will have my manservant is also armed. We will wait here, and in the morning, I will meet you at the church. Very good. Thank you. And with that, I bid you a good day.
Good evening. I hope to see you there. God be with you.
You hear him close and bolt the door.
I fear it will be his body we will find next.
Well, we tried.
And where are you going now?
I would like to invite the three of you to come with me to my house, where I will give all of you dinner as prepared by my good company.
I gladly accept the invitation. Quaker hospitality is renowned.
We have delicious cider.
And I can't wait to have breakfast. Yes, a continental breakfast with some Quakers sounds just what we all need.
We have oats. We have oats.
I was waiting for it. I was
expecting it at any moment.
Setting it up on the tee, knocking it off. Oh, look at that. Oh.
It's my favorite improv lesson. Nobody hits a home run or nobody hits a grand slam if nobody's on base.
Oh, there we are.
There you are indeed. All right. So you return to Jefferson Clay's house for a meal in the evening, and to await the morning, I guess, after that.
Well, I think it's all the same to you. I'd like to go back to the house, even if it's on my own for the moment, and kind of watch the house, Master Rich's house.
Very well.
I'm used to being out in the wilderness alone, so
are you going by yourself then, Jonas, to just take a look?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I'm doing the hunter thing of just going, finding a place to post up, and wait and watch.
Give me a your fur trapper trait roll.
I am definitely using one of the my dice this time because I want to make sure I am not seen.
Nice.
Very well.
$16.
Oh, you managed to find a good.
No, I'm sorry. 21.
Oh, you find an excellent vantage point. Right along, you actually get down into the stream bed, and no one can see you.
Okay.
You're down off the road, and you're watching the front of the house. After about an hour, a carriage pulls up. Looks to be some sort of manservant is driving it, and you see Martin Rich come out of the house with several trunks and begin throwing them into the carriage.
Okay.
And that is where we're going to end tonight.
Oof.
Oh.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining us here at Gothic Horror Gaming. This was our second session in this particular route for those of you who just joined us. Thank you for joining in. All of our school friends who are familiar with Master Jefferson Clay there, who came and joined us. So this is a horror game. This is part 2. There will be at least one more part next Wednesday. Yes, thank you, Warwick High School, for coming.
Thank you so much. It was great meeting you all today.
We will. There's going to be at least one more session, maybe 2, and then after that, I will. We will be going to a Delta Green game, which is a modern horror version. But every Wednesday nights, we'll still be here. Either myself or my wife runs the modern horror games. So just a quick introduction of everyone. Let us start with people that our new friends don't know. Let us start with Jonas. Jonas.
I am Matt Selly. I'm playing Jonas. You may remember me such things as being at the Ren Fair longer than any of you have been alive. Most of you have been alive. I'm looking at you, Dana. And I know everybody else or a lot of other people have things to pitch, but I don't really have anything to pitch, so I'm just going to go with my normal gospel according to Selly of there's really only one commandment: don't be a dick.
There you go. Words
here.
Words to live by. And I'd also like to introduce Cotton Nettles. Cotton.
Hi, I'm Steve O'Dockerson. I play Hob the Troll at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Festival and others. I have performed as one of the bastard monks at the Bay Area Renaissance Festival and the Michigan Renaissance Festival, and Royston Badger Noose at the Sterling Renaissance Festival. You can go to hobthetroll.bandcamp.com and hear me sing very poorly, very loudly. Hey kids, if you want to throw that up on the TikTok and do a dance to it, you go right ahead, friends. Boy, boy. Oh, bless you.
Very good. We also have Comfort Gooden.
Hi, I'm Dana Mishike. I play Lady Bess of Hardwick at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. Also, I am launching a foodie website later on this week. I'll have the the link for you next week. Right now, it is currently in the works. I'm meeting with my site designer tomorrow to make sure that it's right where I want it to be. So it's going to be primarily restaurant reviews by a bunch of Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair actors.
HatefulHeifers.com, huh?
That's an amazing
Yes,
name.
me and Alex Stampoli.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
That makes so much sense now.
And then we also have with us Jefferson Franklin Clay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Kostelik. Some of you know me as Shakespeare, as seen at your school recently, or Renaissance fairs throughout the East Coast and Louisiana and Texas. In fact, speaking of Texas, I am the entertainment director for the Scarborough Renaissance Festival, and we are having auditions next Saturday for our local cast. January 21st at the Waxahachie Civic Center. So if any of you are in the Central Texas area and you want to join a cast for very little money, but a whole lot of fun and great experience and great training, come on out. But that's all I have to plug. And Instagram. Go do it.
Very good. And I am the Glue Master. My name is Tom Zadoyko. I have worked at the Renaissance Fair at Pennsylvania for as long as Jonas has, by 1 year less than you.
What? Yeah.
1 whole year. I'm on the road most of the time doing my Buckle and Swash sword fighting show or the Mud Show at Pennsylvania. I do that as well. I'm also the entertainment director of the Louisiana Renaissance Fair. I don't have auditions coming up, so I cannot mention that. But my wife, who is Handler Z, she is in the background. She's been the one posting most of the Nat 21 Adventure comments. She and I run Gothic Horror Gaming, and we switch off which one is running and which one is in the background doing all the technical stuff. We have our own Patreon called Quill and Quote. Right there it is, patreon.com, Quill and Quote. And if you subscribe, if you become one of our patrons, my wife writes short fiction, horror, sci-fi, dark romance as well. And then I narrate them. I'm an audiobook narrator, and amongst all the other things that I do. We actually have a book out right now. It's called Dare. It's a collection of I think 14 stories, short fiction, poetry, dark humor. I mean, not dark humor, dark horror. And it's on Audible. It is on just a regular Kindle version, or you can even order an actual physical copy of it. So you can check that out. We're about to start up a TikTok and a mailing list of me narrating terrible instructions off of packaging, or melodramatic readings of song lyrics, which I do here. We have to be very careful for rights purposes. And most recently, I have many old books that are all from before 1927, and I've been reading some of them. This one is Modern Secret Societies, which was published in 1903. So I've been reading snippets of that. We're going to release a TikTok of dramatic readings of all that. So be sure to check us out there. Again, thanks to Nat 21 Adventures all in all. We've got our own Patreon for Nat 21 Adventures right there. You can see that. All sorts of fun stuff. There's also a Discord server for Nat 21. And also you can find Nat 21 on Facebook. So be sure to check that out as well. Thanks to there's the Discord one. Thanks to our sponsors. We have several sponsors here. Renadventures.com, tour Europe with people who actually are fluent in the languages. Very often Italy is a popular destination, and Paulo takes people there. But we're doing a special one in July where we're playing Dungeons & Dragons in castles in England and Scotland. You'll tour them by day and then actually game in them at night. So be sure to check out renadventures.com. Also want to thank 3D2U. 3D2U.org is their website. They are manufacturers of dice towers, dice boxes, journals for all of your gaming needs. Check them out, 3dtu.org. And also Yuletide Monsters, which is a lovely, it's a little bit past, but I still want to plug it because it's so much fun. Basically, Krampus-themed drinkware and holiday cards and tarot decks and all that. You can find that at YuletideMonsters.com. On behalf of all of us here at Gothic Horror Gaming, thank you everyone so much for joining us. We'll see you next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, where we'll see where does Mr. Martin Rich think he's going. And until then, have a great evening, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.